I met a girl crazy for me. Then you said,
Very loud, I don't know. That was about 12 hours.
It's impossible. You know, it's capturing lightning spot.
I can play very chilling.
Do you think?
Gwyneth Paltrow. She's having all the fun.
What's that?
It's called a mala.
Mala. Is that something in relation with energy or something, good luck or something like that? No.
It's used for different things. It's essentially a rosary. So for counting mantras,
Yes.
but it also corresponds to, there's 108 of these. And it corresponds to 108 sutras that the Buddha taught.
Okay.
108. Plus various other things. Plus whenever I look at it, I keep myself from getting angry.
Stand by, here we go. You set. Are you missing a lot?
So Maritza.
Maritza with T and Z.
Maritza.
Also.
Maritza.
Nope. Never mind. Okay. Maritza, you have some.
Maritza.
Okay.
It's Maritza.
1, 2.
Hola.
Hi, Richard. How
Hola,
are you?
Maritza.
Hi, nice to meet you.
You too.
Richard, how do you feel after making this film professional and personally?
Well, I'm very satisfied with the film. I like the film. I'm very proud of it. It's all happened quite quickly, actually, because I read the script a little over a year ago. And I was making another film at the time. We were just beginning another film. And there was no director involved. And John and I met, John Avnet, and we got along very well. And our working relationship just got even better and better as we went along. So it was like two brothers making this film. And we found Bai Ling, who was the perfect actress to play this part. And it all happened so smoothly and so easily, it's kind of astonishing. We finished shooting in July, did some extra shooting in August, and already we have the movie out.
Yes.
So really, it's been very quick this 1 year.
That's it. And tell us a little bit more about your own experience on Central America or Tibet, watching these people suffering because their human rights are taken away.
Well, as anyone knows who's been involved with the human rights field, what we show in this movie is very small
Really?
in considering the enormity of the problems on this planet. But we wanted to highlight the specific problems with the judicial system in China. And clearly this is the thing that differentiates all societies. If you really look to what is the essential point of how a society functions, you can look to their judicial system. How is the individual protected by law? And as you look to countries like China, or you look at what used to be El Salvador when it was so horrible, when you looked at certainly Tibet and other places where people have no recourse under law, none whatsoever. It's amazing to think on this planet in 1997, there's still countries that are so brutal and so cruel and so violent to their own people. It's astonishing. So as we tell the story of China, we're really telling the story of Tibet and of all the countries in this world who suffer under fascist totalitarian governments.
And how was your experience when you met Dalai Lama?
The first time I met him? Oh, well, this was a long time ago. You have to understand that when I met the Dalai Lama, I'd been practicing Buddhism for, I don't know, probably 6 or 7 years, since I was 24. And when we met, I had a lot of expectations of that kind of a meeting, where subconsciously one thinks that you're going to be zapped and enlightened on the spot by this holy man. But of course that's not realistic, it's not even possible. No one can do that. Jesus Christ couldn't do that, the Buddha couldn't do that, the Dalai Lama can't do that, it's impossible. So we ended up having a meeting and talking quite openly and normally, like two new friends, about life and about Buddhism, about the nature of the mind. It was a very satisfying event, so much so that my belief in His Holiness was complete. within that one meeting. And very naturally took him to be my root teacher.
Fine. And you have portrayed a lot of characters in romantic roles. So are you a romantic person?
I don't know. I don't know. I suppose I am. I'm quite soft,
You look
essentially.
like.
So, yes, I guess I am.
And after this blockbuster hit Pretty Woman, do you feel the pressure because you have to make always that kind of movie
No,
being
not at all.
successful on box office?
No, that I don't think I've ever sought to make a popular movie. I always want to communicate, but to communicate to a huge, wide audience has never been necessary for me. Movies like that are extremely rare, that communicate to everyone in every culture. You know, and I go to the third world, I'm in India, or I'm in Borneo, or I'm in wherever I am. People have seen this movie and relate to it. People who have nothing, people who are way below the poverty level have seen this movie about this rich guy and this kind of fantasy hooker, totally out of their life experience. But it's moved them so much and they've seen it 10, 15, 100 times. So this is the kind of thing that is very rare. And you can't repeat. It's impossible. You know, it's capturing lightning in a bottle.
Yes. What does Buddhism mean for you in your life?
Well, Buddhism is a kind of a basis. It's a place you begin from. And it's essentially a point of view, a direction, which is one of exploration. It's one of it's like the old-time explorers going into the jungle, and the jungle is your mind, and you go in like with enormous courage for the adventure of exploring your own mind and heart. And it does take a lot of courage because you find a lot of monsters there in the jungle.
I know. And you know, in Mexico, we are not in the best place about human rights. Would you
I know,
sometimes...
Chiapas especially, yeah?
Yes, the guerrilla. Would you get involved one time about Mexican problems?
Yeah, I would, absolutely. If your filmmakers down there had a project, I would love to be approached to do something about that. There was something Milcho Manchevsky and I were going to make a film in Mexico that had something to do with this. It didn't quite work out, but I would be very open to doing something that dealt with your problems in Mexico.
Yeah, we have a lot.
Yeah, all over the world, so many problems. But I think most of these places where there's such an equality between the very rich and the very poor, you know, you're always going to have problems.
Yes.
Yeah.
Thanks a lot.
Okay, thank
Nice
you.
to meet you.
You too.